Red Dead Redemption isn't going anywhere. Despite years of speculation about the franchise's future, recent developments prove that Take-Two Interactive view on Red Dead as a cornerstone IP is one that's too valuable to abandon, even as other beloved Rockstar properties have been left behind. Here's why Red Dead Redemption 3 is inevitable by the words of Take-Two CEO himself, and how Red Dead Online's surprising revival hints at what's coming next. Let's start off with the confirmation that Red Dead Redemption 3 is going to be coming. Not only do we get confirmation from leaker My Time to Shine Hello, who's a very reliable insider, but the Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick himself. He's publicly classified the franchise as a permanent IP for Take-Two, placing it in the same tier as Grand Theft Auto and comparing it to cultural staying power to James Bond. Now, he's not just speaking corporately, it's a strategic commitment backed by cold hard numbers. Red Dead Redemption 2 has sold over 65 million copies, making it one of the best-selling entertainment products in history, not just in video games. That level of success doesn't get shelved. Zelnick has explicitly stated that failing to continue Red Dead franchise would represent a massive loss for the company. And when a CEO of this caliber is speaking that plainly about a property's value, you can bet development is already underway, as again stated by My Time to Shine Hello. But what makes this particularly telling is the contrast with other franchises of Rockstar. Bully 2 was reportedly in development multiple times before being cancelled. Midnight Club, once a flagship racing series, hasn't seen a new entry since 2008, and Agent, a spy thriller announced in 2009, simply vanished. Even Max Payne, which delivered a critically acclaimed third entry in 2012, has been dormant for over a decade despite the remake claims. Red Dead Redemption is different. It's profitable, culturally significant, and still growing its audience years after release. Take-Two isn't going to make the same mistake twice by letting a golden goose slip away while chasing the next big thing. And the clearest evidence of this right now is actually Red Dead Online. Take-Two's commitment to Red Dead came in July 2025 when Red Dead Online received its first major content update in 3 years. The release of Strange Tales of the West shocked the community, which had long assumed Rockstar had completely abandoned the online mode after announcing in July 2022 that it was winding down development to focus resources on GTA 6. The update wasn't a minor patch or seasonal event. It introduced 4 new Telegram missions, limited time challenges and rewards, all centered around supernatural investigations. The standout mission, Strange Tales of the Plague, dropped players into a zombie-infested version of Armadillo that felt like a direct homage to the beloved Undead Nightmare expansion from the original Red Dead Redemption. For a game that was supposedly on life support, this was a surprisingly robust content drop. But the most telling detail wasn't what was actually in the update, it was what Rockstar called it in the promotional material. Strange Tales of the West Volume 1. That single word volume suggests that it isn't a one-off gesture to appease a dedicated fanbase. It implies a series, it implies more content is planned, it implies Rockstar hasn't given up on Red Dead Online at all. This makes absolute strategic sense when you consider the bigger picture. Red Dead Online was never as profitable as GTA Online, not even close. GTA Online generates billions in microtransactions revenue annually, while Red Dead Online's earnings have been modest by comparison. Yet Take-Two's continued support to it, even when logic would suggest they should reallocate the sources to a different, more lucrative properties, they are doing it because Red Dead Online serves as a placeholder, keeping the franchise alive and engaged in public consciousness until Red Dead Redemption 3 is ready. It's a way to maintain the brand, test new systems, and ensure that when Red Dead Redemption 3 finally launches, there's still a passionate community ready to embrace it. I mean, it's the same strategy they've been doing with GTA Online. Just recently, we got a trailer for Michael DeSanta returning to GTA Online, which has got a lot of fans buzzing. And remember, this is GTA 5, and we're just a year away from GTA 6. This is the power of an online live service game. It keeps fans engaged into that IP until we get the next big drop years and years away. Now, the May 2025 update is further proof of life. Before the July surprise, Red Dead Online had already shown signs of life in May 2025 with another unexpected update. While smaller in scope, it reinforced the pattern. Rockstar hadn't abandoned the game, they simply shifted it to a lower priority maintenance mode. But even that maintenance mode involves more active support than many live service games receive from their developers. Reports from industry insiders like Game Reactor have also suggested that a next-gen patch for Red Dead Redemption 2 and Red Dead Online has been in development for some time, and it's likely coming in 2026. Now, a next-gen or current-gen upgrade for Red Dead Redemption 2 and its online mode would accomplish 2 things. First of all, of course, it would modernize the game for current generation players who never experienced it on older hardware. Second, it would serve as a testing ground for technologies and systems that could eventually be implemented into Red Dead 3. Rockstar has a history of making their online mode a sort of laboratory for new mechanics. GTA Online's evolution directly informed many of the systems in Red Dead Redemption 2, and it's reasonable to assume Red Dead Online is serving a similar purpose now. Now, this evolution in online actually points towards Red Dead Redemption 3's online multiplayer mode, as when Red Dead Redemption 3 happens, all signs suggest it will almost certainly include an online multiplayer component, likely Red Dead Online 2. Now, the question here isn't whether there will be Red Dead Online 2, but what form it will take and how it will improve on its predecessor, and we actually have details about it, as leaked details from a Rockstar employee who has worked on Red Dead 3, according to their LinkedIn profile, has suggested that they are working on vehicle AI. And it's very likely this isn't referring to the trains or wagons for Red Dead 3, it's most likely referring to early automobiles in the 1920s era, as even the voice actors behind Red Dead have said that there's been internal talks about moving forward with the Red Dead franchise. Now, if the game is set in the 1920s Prohibition era, as the leak suggests, Red Dead Online would shift from a purely Western experience to something closer to a period crime drama, and that opens up significantly more gameplay opportunities than the dying Wild West setting of the current online mode. The Prohibition era could actually offer so much more opportunities to Red Dead Online. Players would have access to early automobiles, Ford Model Ts, trucks, motorcycles, alongside horses that are still common in rural areas. The variety of vehicles alone would make traversal more dynamic than the horse-only system of the current game. Cities will be larger and more developed, with speakeasies, warehouses, and docks providing natural hubs for criminal activity. Weapons would evolve from revolvers and lever-action rifles to Thompson submachine guns, shotguns, and early automatic pistols. More importantly, the structure of organized crime in the 1920s maps perfectly onto an online multiplayer framework. Players could form bootlegging operations, run illegal gambling dens, smuggle liquor across state lines, and engage in turf wars with rival gangs. Foundation for all of this already exists in GTA Online, where players manage businesses, compete for territory, and participate in elaborate heists. Rockstar will simply be adapting those systems to a different time period, and in the process creating an online experience that feels more varied and replayable than the current Red Dead Online. The current game struggles with content variety because there's only so much you can do in a dying frontier. You can hunt, rob trains, deliver goods, and engage in shootouts, but the era itself limits the types of activities available for online play. A 1920 setting removes those restrictions while maintaining the gritty, violent, morally ambiguous tone of the Red Dead series. Now, in my last Red Dead Redemption 3 update video, we talked about how AI, more specifically the new AI components within Rockstar's Rage engine, are going to absolutely transform GTA 6 and in turn transform Red Dead Redemption 3 into an immersive simulation. While there's another thing that GTA 6 is likely doing, which is a lot more enterable buildings, which seemed very prominent in Red Dead Redemption 2, as rumors surrounding GTA 6 say that the game will feature a significant number of enterable buildings, potentially hundreds or even thousands, depending on which leaks you believe, of course. If this technology makes it into Red Dead 3, it will completely transform the online experience along with the actual base game. The current Red Dead Online suffers from limited verticality. Most buildings are locked, forcing players to interact with the world primarily at street level. Heists, robberies, and shootouts happen in a handful of pre-designed interiors or out in the open. But if a majority of buildings become accessible, suddenly every block becomes a potential battlefield. Players could escape, pursuing lawmen by ducking into an apartment building, barricading themselves in a warehouse, or setting up ambushes in multi-story tenements. This would also enable far more varied activities and minigames. Illegal gambling dens could exist in actual player accessible basements. Speakeasies could be hidden behind legitimate storefronts, requiring players to know the password to enter, where they can store contraband, customize their appearance, and plan heists with friends. Now, the combination of enterable buildings, vehicle variety, and advanced AI would make a Prohibition era Red Dead Online feel less like a static playground and more like a living, breathing criminal underworld. It will be the kind of experience that keeps players engaged for years, which is exactly what the Take-Two CEO wants. So the bottom line here is that Take-Two refuses to abandon Red Dead and even Red Dead Online, even after years of modest returns, tells you everything you need to know about the franchise's future. This isn't a company cutting its losses on a failed experiment. This is a company now nurturing a long-time investment, keeping the Red Dead brand alive in the public consciousness while the next installment takes shapes behind closed doors. Not only with Red Dead Online, but the Red Dead Redemption remaster and also the remaster in the work for Red Dead Redemption 2. Red Dead Redemption 3 will happen, and when it does, it will bring along with it an online mode built on lessons learned from years of Red Dead Online updates, powered by the most advanced AI systems Rockstar has ever created, and set in an era that likely offers far more gameplay variety than the dying Wild West. Whether that's enough to rival GTA Online's success remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: Take-Two isn't going to let Red Dead fade into obscurity alongside Bully and Midnight Club. The franchise is too valuable. The audience is too dedicated, and even the Take-Two CEO sees a great potential in Red Dead, which is why Rockstar Games is now starting to add even more updates to Red Dead Online to keep the brand going. Now, I did break down the Red Dead Redemption 3 leaks in my last Red Dead video, which I'll leave in the description and pinned comment section below, so go ahead and check that out. And guys, I wanted to announce the Witch Hunt collection, which is going to be the first collection that will be available on the Balboa Club store when it launches. This specific collection is inspired by the Witcher series and the dark fantasy genre. This is a brand that I've really wanted to make for a long time. I didn't just want to make merch, but I wanted to make something special, something that mixes the really cool designs of the wrestling world with the things that we love the most, video games. And of course, the first design had to be inspired by my favorite game of all time, The Witcher 3. So this is something special that I've created for you. I want you to join the club, and I will announce when the store is about to launch through this channel. Now we're even going to TikTok and Instagram. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out, God bless, and join the Balboa Club today. Bye bye.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.